Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, King Sinbad. But as always, guys, you guys can call me Sin. Alright, guys, so like I said, if you guys watched the last video, I was trying to do the video. I did it 3 times, but my phone kept on acting stupid. So I had to reset all the recordings, and I had to delete all of that lost video. But it should be alright, though. So, but before I hop into the video, I'm going to explain what Naruto's Ghost Rider form looks like. He's actually going to have, you could say, a combination almost. But when I get more into the story, hopefully you can understand what I'm talking about. But without further ado, guys, though, let's get this started. What if Naruto was the Ghost Rider? Episode 1, Family. Alright, so our story will take place on a cold October night. As this story, as we cut straight to the Konoha forest, where we see a man with white hair in total fear on the ground, looking at the one that's causing him this great fear, this visage with flames just all over, nothing but skeleton and a skull. Alright, so Naruto's skeleton and skull, how it's going to look like when he's in his Ghost Rider form, is going to look like the comic book version of Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider. But he's also going to have, but his outfit's going to be a combination of of both comic book versions of Johnny Blaze's and Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider. So it's going to look like this, but on the shoulders it's going to have spikes, and on the gloves to the mid forearm is also going to have spikes. And Naruto's also going to have the comic book version of Robbie Reyes' chains with the knives at the end. And of course he's also going to have the Hell Charger, because why not? Why, I'm going to give him the Hell Charger instead of the Hell Cycle, considering I'm more into muscle cars than I am a motorcycle. So yeah. And he's also going to have chainsaws, a crowbar, and a sledgehammer, because why the frick not? But anyway, back to, oh yeah, and he's also going to have the combination of both comic book versions of Johnny Blaze's and Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider powers combined. He's going to have both of their powers combined from the comic books versions of them. So yeah, moving on. But anyway, as Naruto is, but as the Ghost Rider is staring at him with flames just all over and glowing orbs where his eyes used to be, he picks up Mizuki and he says,
"Mizuki, your sins are innumerable. You've committed countless terrible and evil deeds across all creation, and you have caused suffering and pain and committed endless sin. And for that, I find you guilty. And your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. Now you shall feel all the pain that you've ever inflicted upon another innocent soul. Look into my eyes."
And as this is when he forces open Mizuki's eyes as Mizuki lets out a gruesome and terrifying, blood-curdling scream. It's almost a surprise that nobody's even heard it, as it burns his eyes, as his eyes are looking like there's nothing but charcoal, leaving nothing more than an empty husk, mindless as a mindless zombie, as he picks up Mizuki's carcass, and then the Hell Charger pops open the trunk as he tosses Mizuki's body into the portal of the Hell Charger in the back of the trunk, as Mizuki's body falls into hell. Closing the trunk to the Hell Charger, Naruto gets into the Hell Charger and drives off. While he's doing so, he exits out of his Ghost Rider form and back into his human form, as the Hell Charger just goes back to a regular looking Dodge Charger. As Naruto's driving along the highway, going past all the flashing lights and all the stoplights and stop signs and so on and so forth, as he's driving along to get back to his home, he starts thinking about all that has happened to him in the past 13 years since he made the deal. As Naruto thinks to himself, can't believe it's already been 13 long years since I last made that deal. And if you guys are wondering how old Naruto is in this, Naruto is 17 years old, as this night is his birthday. As Naruto is continuing to drive, as this is when we will see Naruto pulling up into the driveway to his house, and then as Naruto gets a small smile, and as he looks, seeing that his house's lights are still on. And as Naruto is walking out, and it says Naruto's family it says Uchiha Uzumaki Senju Namikaze residence. Now, before you guys are wondering, no. Let me just kind of explain how it's like that. As Naruto, well, as I'm going to explain it. So, Minato had 3 wives. The first one obviously being Kushina Uzumaki, the second wife being Makoto Uchiha, and the third being Tsunade Senju. Now, I'm making Tsunade about 35, making Kushina and Makoto 25. So this way, even though it's like a 10-year gap, I still think it's pretty close. So Minato had 3 wives. But anyway, back to the story. As Naruto's walking in, Naruto opens up the door and Naruto just hears, "Surprise!" And Naruto sees his 3 mothers. And Naruto just gives a small smile as he turns away from them, and he sees his he sees his 5 elder sisters. And yes, you did not mistake me. I did say 5 elder sisters. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of explain who's the oldest to the youngest. Now, Mito, who is the eldest daughter and the firstborn daughter to Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, making her full name be Mito Uzumaki Namikaze. She being the first and the eldest sister to Kushina and to the other siblings. Then to Makoto Uchiha, she had twins, being Izumi Uchiha and Shion Uchiha. Then to Tsunade, as she also had twins, Rose Senju Namikaze and Hitomi Senju Namikaze, making Naruto the youngest, making him Naruto Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze. Now, for those of you guys are wondering, wait. How is Naruto Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze? Well, after all the other daughters. Now, Minato, he loved all of his daughters with everything. However, he just still wanted a son. Well, one, because he's always wanted a son, and two, to also carry on his legacy. But he still loved his daughters. However, he just wanted a son to carry on his name and his legacy. And not only that, he also just really wanted a son. So, now, to why Naruto is called Naruto Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze is for the simple fact, Kushina, after she had Mito, she found out that the rest of her eggs were infertile, meaning she can no longer have any more kids. However, seeing how all the other, that Mikoto and Tsunade had 2 kids, Minato was also wanting to have one more kid by Kushina. However, she realized that she couldn't due to all of her eggs being infertile, and she only had one fertile egg. That's when Makoto offered up one of her fertile eggs to Kushina. Now, as Tsunade would have done the egg transfusion or transference, or however it is, making and letting the egg kind of sit in Kushina for a while, therefore making it half Uzumaki, 25% Uchiha, and 25% Namikaze. And then, of course, Minato and Kushina, they fuck and give her, she gets her ass clapped, but anyway, and I'm going to say between Naruto and his elder sister, I'm going to say all the sisters were born on the same day. I'm going to say there's a 5-month gap between his sisters and him. And so I counted, that would be like May 15th. And the reason why I'm saying May 15th is, well, just because why not May 15th? Simple as that. But anyway, so, of course, after the 5 months, and of course, after Kushina carrying Naruto for 9 months, and after, of course, figuring out that the Kushina's child is going to be a boy, after them all finding that Kushina is having a son, a male, a boy, a son, a male, boy, man, a son. You guys get the idea. But anyway, moving on. Of course, now Minato is dead for one simple reason. The Masked Man did try to steal the Nine Tails, which we all knew was Obito. However, going by the guise of Madara. But however, thanks to Tsunade and Mikoto also being there and helping Minato fight off the masked man. Kushina, she still survives thanks to Tsunade being there, and Minato doing his quick thinking. Now, if you guys don't remember, I also said that Naruto's going to have a harem, and in his harem, who am I kidding? All of the females in his family are going to be in his harem. So, yeah, I know, guys, I know I'm treading on some shaky ground, but I'm pretty sure all of you watched a hentai where a son and his mother or sisters, basically, do the nasty. But anyway, moving on. Minato seals half of the Nine Tails inside of Naruto, and of course but sealing the other half back into Kushina. Now that that's all out of the way, and of course, Minato died because of the Reaper Death Seal. But anyway, moving on. Back to present day. As Naruto just simply says, you all didn't have to throw a surprise party for me like that, right? And Kushina and Makoto and Tsunade and all the girls say, we know, but we just wanted to, but this was the day that, that you entered into the world, and you just were the charging bundling of joy. And Naruto just kind of smiles. However, this is when Naruto just starts thinking, can't believe I'm already turning 17. He says it just seems like yesterday that I made the deal when I was 5 years old. And this is when we will cut to a flashback. Now, as it was Naruto, he was 5 years old. And as he was 5 years old, it was his birthday, and Kushina said, "All right, Naru-chan, we're going out to get you whatever you want. So, what do you want?" Naruto says, "Ramen." And everybody said, "Again, ramen? Well, it is your birthday, so I don't really see the harm in it." Kushina said. And Naruto says, "Oh, fuck yeah!" And then, of course, Kushina just hits him over the head. He says, "Oh, what the hell?" And, of course, she hits him again. He says, "God damn it, what is that for?" And, of course, she just keeps on hitting him. He's like, and she says, "Language." And Naruto says, "Motherfucking..." And then, of course, he gets smacked, this time by Makoto. She said, "Naru-chan, language." And Naruto said, "Okay." He's like, "Sorry." And they're like, "Okay, that's better. Now, let's go to Ichiraku Ramen." And of course, they're all walking down the street. Now, around this time, we see a man with slick back white hair and a purple suit, holding a cane with a crystal skull, and his eyes glowing yellow, looking all demonic-like. Now, hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So, took longer than I expected, but alright, so where did so Mephistopheles was looking down from the roof, and he just lets out an evil grin as Naruto is walking with his mothers and his sisters And he stops and he looks upwards to where Mephisto was standing. And Kushina says, What's wrong with Naruto-chan? And Naruto says, there's a man on that roof. And everybody looks to where Naruto was pointing, but there was no man. And they're like, what man? And Naruto said, huh? Where did he go? All of a sudden, a massive earthquake is taking place. Everybody's freaking out. At first, everybody thinks it's an attack. But then it turns out to be nothing more than an actual earthquake. Now, of course, everybody's panicking and trying to get to safety. As there's it's a massive earthquake, so everybody's trying their best to find somewhere to where, just in case if a building falls or there's debris flying everywhere, they'd be safe from everything. And of course, Kushina being of course, she says, okay, Naruto-chan, stay very close to me. Whatever you do, do not leave my side. Now, of course, as Naruto is running, Naruto trips and Kushina stops and turns back to go pick up Naruto. But right as she's about to go pick up Naruto, a pretty good sized rock flies out of nowhere and hits Kushina on the head. Now, not enough to kill her, but enough to where it could cause some serious head damage if not treated right away. Like, now when I say but it could be fatal if it's not treated right away. Now, of course, right after that, right when that happened, the earthquake stops. And there's a little bit of damage in Konoha. And Tsunade's seeing, and Naruto is just, he sees blood running down Kushina's head, and tears are starting to build up. And of course, Tsunade and Makoto, seeing that they're basically their harem sister is down on the ground bleeding in front of their son. And of course they all, say, okay, girls, you need to take Naruto and stay with us as we're going to take Kushina to the hospital. And of course everybody does as they're told. And Naruto is just crying as he says, it's my fault. It's all my fault. And of course, everybody's just seeing that Naruto is really torn up about this. Because his mother got hurt because of him. In his mind, that's how he's processing. Now, I do need to remind you guys, this is a 5-year-old Naruto. So it's very natural for a 5-year-old child, to be thinking that this is his fault, or, Now, of course, Kushina is in the emergency room getting treated as it could be fatal. And Naruto says, Mama Tsunade? It's Mom? Is she going to be okay? And Tsunade says, I don't know yet. Naruto, you just need to stay right here, okay? Don't worry, I'm not going to let anything happen to Mama, okay? Now, obviously, Kushina being the actual birth mother of Naruto, so, but you guys get the point. But anyway, Naruto is just crying. And everybody is just... Now, if you guys are wondering where the girls are, I'm just going to say they're in the waiting room because Tsunade told them to be there, and Naruto didn't want to leave his mother's side. And seeing how torn up about it, they decide to let him go with Tsunade, as Makoto's just staying there and watching the girls. And Naruto's just sitting there crying, and all of a sudden he hears this walking footsteps, and he says, "Your mother looks like she's in a lot of trouble." And Naruto says, "It was my fault. I wasn't paying attention." And Mephisto says, "Oh no, my boy. It wasn't your fault. It was an accident. How could you possibly control where that rock fell?" And Naruto says, "Rock? Wait. How did you know that Mom got hit with a rock?" "Well, believe it or not, I happened to be right near you all as it happened. So, and I was seeing you cry, and I was about to go check up on you, but your two mothers and your sisters were, well, taking you off, so I just followed you, and I was just here to make sure that you were okay. But judging by the injury on her head, it could be possibly fatal if they're not quick enough to stop." And Naruto says, "I don't know what..." And Mephisto just smiled. He says, "I could save her right now." And Naruto says, "Huh? You could? You really could, mister?" And Mephisto just chuckles. He's like, "Please, Naruto, call me Mephistopheles. But to my friends, just call me Mephisto." "Mephisto? So, Mephisto-sama, can you really save my mom?" And Mephisto says, "Yes, but tell me, Naruto, what are you willing to do for your mother's life?" "Anything. I'd even give up my own soul." And Mephisto says, "Oh, your own soul, eh? Well, as it so happens, that's actually what I want, Naruto. You see, Naruto, how about there's something that you should know about me before you make this deal with me. You see, I'm what you humans call the devil." As Naruto's eyes widen, he says, "Wait, you're the devil? You're..." And as Naruto remembers Mephistopheles, he says, "Wait, so you're Satan?" As Mephistopheles said, "I prefer Mephisto if you don't mind." And he says, "So, wait, how can I trust you?" And Mephisto says, "Well, as it so happens..." He's like, as Mephisto gets kind of stunted, as nobody has ever questioned if he could actually keep his end of the deal. Now, Mephisto is thinking on this. He's like, normally I don't do this. Normally I just use one of my loopholes. But for this boy, I think about honoring my end of the deal. But not just honoring my end of the deal. How about I sweeten the pot a little bit? Very observant of you, boy. You're actually the first human, and since, well, now that I think about it, forever. You're the first human to actually ever say if I could actually keep my end of the bargain. Usually people say if I can do it, Not actually saying that I would actually hold up my end of the bargain. Well, I just remember hearing that you find loopholes in your deals. And this even shocks Mephisto even more. He says, "Oh, well, well, they're not necessarily wrong." As Naruto just says, "So how can I trust you?" He's like, "I'll tell you what. I'll cancel as of right now." As Mephisto just snapped his fingers, he says, "All the loopholes at my end of the bargain are terminated." Wait, what do you mean terminated? Meaning I cannot harm a single hair on your mother's head, but not just because I can. No supernatural force or natural force, whether it be a sickness, a curse, or an actual physical hand, or an accident, or whatever, just any force, supernatural, be it supernatural or natural, no force will hurt or kill your mother. Basically, your mother is immune to all accidents, curses, sicknesses, attacks, and all that. Consider this as my part of the deal. And as I said I was going to sweeten the pot even more. This also goes for all of your sisters and all of your mothers. Does that sound like a deal? As Naruto's thinking on this, he says, "Yeah, so what do you want in return?" And Mephisto says, "Well, my boy, the only thing that's more valuable than money, your soul." And Naruto says, "So, you just want my soul?" "Yeah, that's it." "Well, that, and I want you to become my bounty hunter. I want you to become the Ghost Rider." "Ghost Rider? What do you mean by Ghost Rider?" "Oh, my boy, I mean, I want you to become the Ghost Rider. You'll be having two spirits dwell within you." What do you mean?" "I mean, you'll have the strongest spirit of vengeance inside of you. His name is Zarathos. Or Zarathos. Sometimes it gets very tricky to pronounce. And not only that, you'll have the spirit of your great-great-grandfather. From Kushina's great-grandfather, which will make him your great-great-grandfather. Eli Morrow Uzumaki. A psychotic, satanic serial killer. And Naruto said, "Satanic? What do you mean satanic?" Basically, he performed a lot of satanic rituals as he was killing his victims. Satanic, wait, meaning yes. Performing satanic rituals, meaning gaining the power of demons, or particularly my power. So, are you ready? Ready for what? To sign the contract, of course. And Naruto says, "But I don't have a pen." "Oh, don't you worry about that at all, my boy." As he hands a pen and the contract to Naruto. As Naruto begins signing, he says, "Naruto Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze." And right after he finishes writing his name, he says, "Very good, my boy." As he touches Naruto on the chest, as Naruto's entire body begins to light up, you can see his veins, his skeleton, and you see his eyes begin to light up. And it even begins to burn and begins to sizzle, and steam is coming off of Naruto's body. He says, this is when Mephisto pulls out the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos, and shoves it into Naruto's body. Then he grabs Eli Morrow Uzumaki, the spirit of Eli Moro Uzumaki, the psychotic, satanic serial killer, and shoves his spirit into Naruto. And then after he does that, he lets go of Naruto. And Naruto says, what was that? And he says, what I told you what I was going to do. Now, tomorrow morning, your mother will wake up and she'll be all right. And of course, you'll get to see her along with all of your elder sisters and your mothers. And you get to spend a little bit of time before. And Naruto says, but before what? Before you fall into a coma, of course. See, you have to fall into a coma because as of right now, you see, your body has to grow and adapt to this power that I just given you. So you'll fall into a coma. Most likely it'll be, let's see, you're 5 years old now, so hold on. He says you'll be in a coma for 9 years. And Naruto says, wait, I'll be 13 years old by that time. Don't worry. Your body will grow and don't worry. You'll lose all that baby fat. And how do you young people say nowadays? Oh yeah, you'll be fit. So, see you in 9 years, Naruto. I can't wait to see the amazing things that you will accomplish. As Mephisto just disappears right in front of Naruto's eyes, and he says, "Where did he go?" And then all of a sudden, Tsunade and Makoto, well, not Makoto, Tsunade comes out and says, "Naruto, it's all right. Your mother is now safe. She'll be up and ready to go in the morning." As Naruto's eyes widen and he smiles, he's like, "Thank the devil." And Tsunade says, "What do you mean, the devil?" And Naruto says, "Oh, sorry, I meant to say God, I guess." And she says, "You're a strange one, Naruto-chan." And Naruto says, "Can I go and stay by Mom?" And Tsunade says, "Of course, just let her rest, okay? She should be ready and up and going in the morning." Naruto just gives a slight nod. And he walks in and he sits on the chair next to Kushina's bed. Actually, he just climbs into Kushina's bed and just lays there on her arm. And he says, "Don't worry, Mom. I don't regret my actions. If presented the opportunity, I'd do it all over again." As Naruto hugs his mom and cuddles in right next to her, and then he just falls asleep. Next morning, Kushina, she flutters her eyes open, and she blinks a few times, squinting as the sunlight's kind of hitting her right in the eyes, as she feels a strange weight near her on her right shoulder. No, on her left shoulder. As she looks down and sees that her baby boy, Naruto, is just laying right there. And she just smiles and just rubs his hair. And his hair is fully crimson red, his eyes are jet black, and his hair is spiky like Minato's. So, if you guys were wondering. And yes, he does have the 3 whisker birthmarks. But anyway, she just smiles and says, Naruto, Naruto, Naruto-chan. As Naruto's eyes flutter open, he's like, Mom? Mom! And of course, he lunges onto her neck and gives her a big hug, and then gives her a kiss on the cheek. And she says, Don't worry, Naruto-chan. It's gonna take a whole lot more than a silly little old rock to take your mother out. And Naruto says, I was so worried about you. It was all my fault, Mom. And Kushina says, Naruto, it wasn't your fault. It just happened. It was just, these kind of things happen all the time. You can't control who they happen to, but don't worry, I pulled right through. See, I'm perfectly fine. And Naruto was just saying, I was just worried sick about you, Mom. I just didn't want to lose you. And and Kushina just smiles and just says, Well, I'm not going anywhere, okay? Now, of course, around this time, all the girls, Makoto and Tsunade, are just around, and of course everybody's just talking as Naruto says, Oh, Mom, I got... And before Naruto could finish, right when he hopped off the bed, he was like, Hey, Mom, I'm gonna go get some... As Naruto, his eyes began to get very extremely heavy, as he didn't get to finish his sentence, as his body just collapses onto the floor. And everybody says, Naruto? Naruto! And then they're all just like examining, and Tsunade says, Hold on. And she opens up Naruto's eyes and says, Shit. He's going into a coma. And Makoto and Kushina says, Wait, what? And the eldest girls are like, Is Naruto gonna be okay? And Tsunade says, I don't know. And as of course they rush Naruto to the ER. And they're like, it's Kushina's like, Naruto. Naruto. And Kushina says, So what caused him to go into the coma? And Tsunade says, Well, he was stressing out a lot last night, so maybe this is his body just trying to regroup after being so worried. I mean, after all, he is still just a 5-year-old child, Kushina. And Kushina says, and she begins to just stroke Naruto's hair. Now, this is when we will commence a 9-year time skip. And says, time skip 9 years later. Naruto's still inside the hospital, inside the coma. As Kushina, Makoto, Tsunade, and all the eldest sisters of Naruto visited him every day and stayed with him as long as they could. As Naruto's elder sisters, the year before they were 12, they all joined the Ninja Academy. Now, I'm going to say you graduate the academy when you are 17 years old. And you start at the academy when you're 12 years old. So, yeah. Now, of course, but it's 9 years now. And they said, and Kushina's just sitting there. She's like, please, Naruto-chan, please, just wake up. Meanwhile, in Naruto's mindscape, Naruto's eyes begin to flutter open. He's like, where am I? As this is when Zarathos and Eli Maro Uzumaki appear before him, and they're like, and Naruto freaks out. He's like, whoa! Who the hell are you guys? And they're like, easy there, kid. And Zarathos says,
easy, child.
And Naruto says, wait, are you the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos? And Zarathos just gives a simple nod. And he says, so then that would make you... And Eli says, haha, correct, kid. That's right. I'm your great-great-grandfather, Eli Maro Uzumaki. Professional, psychotic, satanic serial killer. Oh, great. I got a satanic serial killer inside of me. He's like, oh, come on, kid. It ain't that bad. Actually, when you find out. Now, I do need to say, during the 9 years, I also forgot to mention this when Mephisto was talking to Naruto. He also said that Naruto's world was not going to be the same. After he wakes up from the coma, Mephisto said that your world will not be the same. Your world will not be the same as you remember it. Now, the reason why he says this is so it gives me a good excuse to bring vehicles into the Naruto world. Not just vehicles, but guns and other levels of machinery. As during that time period, as Naruto's asleep, it allowed vehicles and so on and such forth to come into existence. And of course, this also means weapons, rockets, RPGs, and all that. Now, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I said it, but I said that Naruto's going to have the comic book version of Robbie Reyes' Hell Charger as his ride. Now, obviously, it doesn't... Sometimes he'll just kind of go near whatever ride he happens to be near. But considering he can just teleport his car near to him, I'm pretty sure that it's just going to, be right there. But, anyway, moving on. Naruto says, so, right when I wake up, I guess I'm gonna be a ghost rider, right? And as both of them just gave a slight nod. And then Naruto hears a growling. And Naruto says, what's that noise? And they said, oh, that, well... As Eli says, oh, well, that... Well, I guess it's that pesky Ninetales. Naruto says, Ninetales? What? And then he remembers, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I had the Ninetales sealed in me. As the Ninetale Fox says in a feminine voice, and yes, before you guys even get started, yes, the Ninetales is a female in this, and her name is Ari. And she says, my dear container is now showing up for the first time. I was wondering what took you so long. Can't believe you got lost inside your own head. And Naruto says, oh, shut up. Fucking bitch. And she says, who are you calling a bitch? Naruto says, no, you misheard me. See, I didn't call you a bitch. I called you a fucking bitch. She says, well, my, you put out some foul language. I wonder what would happen if your mother's heard you talking like that. And Naruto just got a shiver down his spine. He's like, oh crap, I forgot half of you still sealed inside my mother. And she says, yep, so guess what that means? Now, of course, Naruto says, I'm sorry for calling you a fucking bitch. And she says, honestly, I love it when a man talks dirty to me. And Naruto's like, wait, what? She says, oh, well, you see, I'm kind of a masochist. And I like when a man, she says, Ari, she says that she likes it when a male takes control and is the dominant force. And Naruto says, oh, okay. And Eli says, huh, well, kid, I'm already starting to like you already. Well, so, let me get something completely straight here, kid. I can't wait to go on a killing spree with you. And Naruto says, killing spree? Wait, you mean murder? And Eli says, well, of course I mean murder. It's the best fucking feeling in the goddamn world. And Naruto says, oh shit, I forgot. I'm bonded to a psychotic, satanic serial killer. Now, of course, Naruto says,
we are Ghost Riders. Ghost Riders seek vengeance.
And Eli says, oh, don't worry, I got my own little list of vengeance going on. But it doesn't mean that I can't just take out some of my rage and frustration on scumbags, right? And Naruto says,
do whatever you want.
Now, Naruto says this.
Now, Naruto, I'll only come out and give you my power. I'll be the main source of your power, okay? But if you're going up against an innocent, I can only lend you half of my power.
And Naruto says, wait, why?
Because they have done nothing wrong, so therefore no vengeance will be wreaked upon them. However, you'll still have powers and access to the... You'll still have powers and access to the hellfire. And soul-sucking.
Soul-sucking. And Naruto says, hellfire, wait. What's that? And basically, Zarathos explains what hellfire is. It's basically the strongest flame in existence, and it can not only will it burn your flesh, but it'll burn your very soul and destroy it. So, as Naruto gets surprised, and he says, and what about you, Eli? And he says, well, I also have hellfire too. And Naruto says, wait, how come you have hellfire? Remember? Satanic serial killer? Hello? And Naruto says, oh yeah, I forgot. Now, something that I should let you know. Whenever Zarathos is unable to come out, Naruto will have to rely on Eli's Ghost Rider powers and form. Now, if you guys are wondering what he looks like, so whenever Naruto is using Zarathos, this is what he'll look like in his Ghost Rider form. Hold on. He'll look like this, or like this. Well, even though they're technically the same thing. So, yeah. But when it's just Eli, this is what his Ghost Rider form will look like. This is what his Ghost Rider form will look like when he's merged with Eli. When it's just Eli. So yeah. But whenever he's using them both in collision, whenever Zarathos and Eli's interests happen to align every now and then, it'll be the combined combination looking like this. He'll have the skeleton and skull of Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, and his outfit will be a combination of both Johnny Blaze's and Robbie Reyes's look. His outfit will be a combination of both Johnny Blaze and Robbie Reyes as Ghost Riders from the comic books. So, yeah. That's what he will mainly, whenever they happen to be in collision with one another. So, yeah. But as Naruto, alright, but anyway, back to the story. Naruto, he says, so, okay, so, what do I need to, and Eli says, alright, that's enough talk, kid. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's time for you to wake up. After all, today is your birthday. You are turning 13. And Naruto says, 13? Wait. Oh yeah, he did say I was going to be in the coma for 9 years, didn't he? And Eli says, yep, pretty much, kid. Well, time for you to wake up. Zarthos, a little help here? He's like, my pleasure. As both of them just kind of conk Naruto out on the head, and this causes Naruto's eyes, but exiting out of the mindscape of Naruto's mind, this is when Naruto's eyes will snap open. He's like, and it's Kushina and Makoto, Tsunade, and all the girls are just right there as Naruto's like, oh god. And there's like, Naruto? And like, and everybody gets happy, Naruto, and as everybody just hugs Naruto, it's like, can't breathe. And they're like, oh, sorry. And as everybody, as before Kushina could say anything and apologize, everybody's kind of like looking at Naruto's eyes in like amazement, as Naruto's eyes are no longer jet black. See, Naruto's right eye is no longer jet black, but instead it is a flaming orange color. Naruto's right eye is a flaming orange color. Meanwhile, Naruto's left eye is a flaming gold. A golden flame color. So, Naruto's right eye is an orange flame color, while Naruto's left eye is a golden flame color. So yeah, Naruto's right eye is an orange flame color, and Naruto's left eye is a golden flame color. And Naruto also has a streak of whitish blonde going right down near the center of his hair and all the way down. Now Naruto's hair, I'm going to say it's about as long as Minato's right now. So Naruto has his red hair with that streak of whitish blonde. So yeah. And they're like, Naruto, what's wrong with your eyes? And wait, how did that happen to your hair? We were just looking at your hair a second ago, and it wasn't like that. And Naruto says, oh, I don't know. I guess it just kind of happened, I guess. And they said, oh yeah, Naruto. So, are you going to enroll in the academy? And Naruto says, wait. He's like, wait, I'm 13? He's like, wait, no, he doesn't say that. He says, wait, how long have I been inside the coma? And they all looked down and they said, 9 years. You've been in that coma for 9 years. And Naruto says, wait, 9 years? Are you fucking kidding me? And then this is when Kushina smacks him on the head and says, language. And Naruto says, ow! She's like, oops, I'm sorry, Naruto. I'm sorry, I forgot that you just woke up out of a coma. And Naruto says, it's alright, Mom. I should have watched my language to begin with. But you know, I honestly kind of missed that. Feels like I've been gone for so long, I would have done anything just to feel one more slap on my head. And she says, well, I'm glad you're back, honey. And Naruto says, yeah, me too. And right now, I think that this is a good place to leave it off. Now, I know that you only got to see the Ghost Rider at the beginning of the video, but next video it will still be inside the flashback until we get to Naruto and his current 17 on his 17th birthday. So that way you guys know what happened and how he was able to get there. Now remember, Naruto, they don't graduate the Ninja Academy until they all turn 17. Which would make sense. So, yeah. But without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So this episode was kind of more like a prologue, just kind of introducing Naruto, how he became the Ghost Rider, and basically what he did, and why he did it, and why he sold his soul to Mephisto. But without further ado, guys, see you guys later. See you on the next episode, episode 2, Hellfire. And, yeah. Peace out, guys. See you guys later.